Hi everyone, recently I did a video on daytime performance on the Xiaomi 13 Pro and I'm really impressed with it. But also I did a video comparing it to the Vivo X90 Pro in low light, and there are some takes that I have on it that I might not have made as clear as I would like it to be. But today's video is all about daytime photography between the Xiaomi 13 Pro and of course the Vivo X90 Pro, and I'm gonna straight away start this video off in terms of preference. Yes, preference is definitely a thing. Some people like it when their images are bright and saturated and all that stuff, aka Samsung. Some people like it when it's perfectly clean, where everything is just perfect with no shadows and no contrast whatsoever, so a flat image. More like Google. But when it comes to photography in daytime, there are two brands. Well, technically three brands, but I haven't used one for a while. It's Vivo, Xiaomi and of course Sony. But today the only comparison that we're making is between the Vivo X90 Pro and Xiaomi 13 Pro. Both are amazing in daytime photography. Let me start off with that. But what my preference is basically just that, my preference. If you have a different opinion about it, let me know in the comments below. But I will say that both of these are very capable in daytime photography. But if I have to pick which is my favorite, it would be end of the video, of course. I'm not gonna tell you now. Anyway, let's jump into the comparison, but I'm not gonna do a side by side most of the time. I just want to showcase their strengths and weaknesses for both of them, because they have such a different approach, which is also quite similar. Anyway, let's jump in to this video. Now, when it comes to phone camera comparisons, often you will see an image next to each other, and for the beginning I will focus on that as well, because simply put, you kind of want to showcase the difference between the two. But for me, there is so much more to these phones than just a side-by-side shot. If you want my opinion, however, in terms of daytime photography between these two, especially stills, it's that the Xiaomi goes for a more contrasty look, where the Vivo goes for a more punchy kind of tone, but also a bit more saturation. Here, I would say that I prefer the Xiaomi, because I don't necessarily like those bright images.
I know that we just met the other night, but I can't get you off my mind.
And then we have shots like macro photography, where Xiaomi easily beats the Vivo here. Yes, the Vivo can get closer, but the Xiaomi makes it look like that subject is properly separated. It looks amazing, and again, I can use those styles, and that is where the strength lies for both of these phones. It's not your normal everyday shot. Most phones will do that really well. It's in their styles. The possibilities to play around with both of these phones is their strength, and they shouldn't be ignored. Vivo, for instance, has their lovely vintage filter, and probably one of my favorite. And then with Xiaomi you have your black and white, which is amazing on it, but also your filmic style, and the filmic style again is the same story. It's amazing, and here I feel like having a side-by-side comparison doesn't work. It's their own way of creating shots in a different style, and therefore having a comparison between these two is very hard, because both of them have a very different approach, and I'm here more to showcase what both of them are capable of, because both of them are amazing. Now I know that people are going to request, okay, but how does it do in video performance, how does it do in portraits, and so on. We're gonna get to that, because simply put, for one, I don't really have people that I can shoot, so it's myself if I'm trying to take a portrait mode, which is of course very difficult unless you have a phone It has a display on the rear, like the Mi 11 Ultra, but when it comes to portrait modes, that makes it a little bit difficult to capture those moments properly, because you kind of want to take the shot yourself. Understand that you are taking the shot in a certain way to see how it performs in general, having that depth and so on. But when it comes to video, I kind of want to separate that as well, because videos like this not only take quite a bit of time to make, but the biggest thing is that if I add low light, video, portrait, daytime photography, there's too little time to specifically talk about the differences, the nuances between different styles and phones in terms of how they approach it. And therefore, I feel like if there is a comparison, and especially when it comes to phones like this, I don't want to make it where I have all of that in one video that is then 30 minutes. I kind of want to make it more feasible for people to look for the specific section that they are looking for. Therefore, I'm separating it. Either way, let's talk a little bit about portrait though, because I do think it's important, but I cannot really show you anything because the people that I took pictures from, apart from myself, which is really hard to do, because it's hard to frame yourself unless you have a Mi 11 Ultra, which is also really nice. But when it comes to portrait mode, I will have to say that you kind of have to trust me on my word. Portrait mode on the Xiaomi 13 Pro is definitely better, where on the Vivo it softens too much. The skin just hasn't little detail left in it, and therefore I will say that the Xiaomi definitely has a better approach, especially with that zoom function as well. So let's discuss portrait for a little bit. I have a dog and just some shots of myself and someone else as well. But when it comes to portrait, the main thing that I've noticed between Vivo and Xiaomi is that Vivo definitely softens up the skin quite a bit. And even if I have it on normal or natural, it really still keeps that softening of skin, where sometimes even details disappear from the skin itself. So for me, if I had to pick between these two when it comes to portrait, I will say that Xiaomi does it better here. But again, that's my personal preference and I'm showcasing it so you can judge for yourself as well. So at the end, which one is better? Which one do I prefer? Okay, it's really difficult, but realistically for myself, I have to give it to the Xiaomi 13 Pro. Now, I know this is a miracle because when it comes to the Vivo X90 Pro and the Mi 11 Ultra, I chose the Vivo at the end. Simply because of the styles, the possibilities, especially. And that even after I got the 12S Ultra app for it as well. But when it comes to the Xiaomi 13 Pro, not only are all the lenses basically a 50 megapixel sensor and therefore no discrepancy between all of them in terms of that, even though the sensors are smaller and so on. But when it comes to the unity of the lenses, I like that better. Because the ultra wide, of course, is a little bit limited on the Vivo X90 Pro. But when it comes to styles as well, I just have to give it to Xiaomi here. The possibilities, of course, when it comes to the Vivo, having those portrait modes, it's amazing. I love the vintage mode. The vintage mode is incredible and it's something that I love to play around with, simply because of the imperfections that it creates. It's amazing. Cineflare can create amazing effects as well. But what Xiaomi does, not only do you of course have your styles in portrait mode, you can choose a lot of different styles in your non-portrait mode as well. Yes, Vivo has some as well, but I would say that I like the results better when it comes to the Xiaomi 13 Pro. The results are simply more to my liking, if that makes sense. But again, this is like a lot of preference we are talking about here. Both of these are amazing in daytime photography. Both of these can create amazing shots in the right hand and with the right environment as well. That also matters. When it comes to photography, I'm gonna have to let you pick yourself as well, because simply put, again, a lot of it is down to style. And for me, while the Xiaomi 13 Pro wins, it's not by a large margin at all. If I could combine the two phones and both of their possibilities into one, I would love that. I would love to have that possibility to just simply combine the two and get that result that I truly love, because both of them has such amazing takes on the camera itself. Either way, I hope that helped a little bit to showcase, of course, the difference between the two, the difference in takes between the two, and not always showing like a side-to-side shot, because simply put, these phones are, well, having a similar idea behind them, are different in terms of approach. So I want to highlight both of their strengths, but also their weaknesses combined, if that makes sense. Either way, I hope this video helped you out a little bit about understanding the difference between the Vivo X90 Pro and of course the Xiaomi 13 Pro, which, yeah, I love both of them. Damn, I wish I could have the phone just in one package, because that would be amazing. And if it had a 3.5mm headphone jack, that would be amazing. And both of these should have a camera button as well. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, if you did, don't forget to subscribe, hit like and everything. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We'll see if we make it. But also, I want to quickly thank you for, of course, the success that I had with these videos when it comes to camera comparisons, but also especially Xiaomi and Vivo. Both of them are amazing, so yeah, they should be watched and see what they can do. Anyway, have a good one and talk to you guys in the next.